Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's my distinct privilege as president of the Cook County Board of Commissioners to address everyone here and at home watching today about our proposed fiscal year 2025 budget. I'm proud to be here today. Our county looks much different than it did 4 years ago. This is thanks in part to President Biden and the largest investment in the American people since the New Deal in the 1930s. Known as the American Rescue Plan, or ARPA, we at Cook County received $1 billion to help with pandemic recovery. Now, as many of you know, I'm a history teacher, so indulge me as I share a quote by Frances Perkins. Perkins, if you don't know, was a force to be reckoned with when it came to workers' rights. She was also President Roosevelt's Secretary of Labor and the first woman, the very first woman, to serve as a cabinet secretary. She was also the driving force behind the New Deal. She once said, and I'm paraphrasing, "What was the New Deal anyhow? Was it a political plot? Was it just a name for a period in history? Was it a revolution?" To all these questions, I answer no. It was something quite different. It was basically an attitude that found voice in expressions. A government should aim to give all the people under its jurisdiction the best possible life. Now, isn't that why we're all here today? That's our charge. That's our mission. This year's budget tells a story of our efforts to do just that. A budget that strives to give all the people under our jurisdiction the best possible life. But let me be clear, we were not always in a position to tell this kind of story. There were hard decisions and tough votes along the way. When I walked through these doors more than a decade ago now, we were facing $500 million deficit. You may recall that in 2015, the shortfalls at the pension fund were growing at the rate of $1 million a day. I'll say it again, $1 million a day. That's what we were up against. We've faced tremendous challenges. And while there's still much more to do, we've come a long way since then. This year's $9.9 billion balanced budget and our strong financial position aren't by chance. They are the product of smart policies year after year. They are the result of lots of planning, tough choices, thoughtful spending, and a clear long-term vision. We avoid using one-time revenues for recurring expenses. We don't borrow more than we need. We don't spend more than we have. And we don't do quick fixes. Instead, we've committed ourselves to finding structural solutions to balancing our budget. And today, Cook County has seen its bond rating upgraded 3 times in the last 3 years. We continue to receive investment-grade bond ratings from all of the major rating agencies, which in turn allows the county to secure lower borrowing rates on its bonds. This is yet another example of the positive impact of responsible budgeting. Costs for important initiatives and investments go down because we are responsible stewards of taxpayer dollars. The county has also been recognized by rating agencies for developing and implementing a plan to fully fund our pensions. We put in the work. We found the solutions. Since 2010, this approach has helped us close over $3.4 billion in preliminary budget gaps. And this year's budget is no different. We continue to put equity in action, align services to needs, spend wisely, direct innovative programs, and pay more into our pensions, all without raising taxes, fines, or fees. We are doing more than ever without asking more from our taxpayers. I'm presenting you a budget that makes sure that everyone, whether you live, learn, work, or play here in Cook County, has the opportunity to live their best life. Good financial work allows us to invest in people and our communities across Cook County. So let's talk about that good work. First, let's go on a ride together. A quick drive down I-57. With its rich history and diverse population, I see the Southland as an area brimming with untapped potential and a place that could, once again, be a thriving economic hub. But like many places throughout our nation, historic disinvestment and aging infrastructure keep us from reaching our full potential. For example, the cost to repair and maintain the systems that provide clean and safe drinking water are extraordinarily expensive, especially for small units of government. These are billion-dollar challenges that must be addressed at the federal level. However, let me tell you what we're doing. Let me tell you through the eyes and the kitchen sink of Dixmoor resident Mabel Chapman. Mabel has lived in her home in Dixmoor on the same block of Hoyne Avenue for almost as long as I've been alive. You can do the math on that one later. Anyway, her home is not only the house she grew up in, but also the house that her parents, who came from Mississippi during the Great Migration at the beginning of the last century, worked hard to own. Recently, Mabel experienced a loss of water pressure in her bathroom and kitchen. She spent two full days, relying on the village in Cook County for donations of potable water, all amid an ongoing boiling order. Now, life happens, of course. This isn't some isolated incident. If you live in parts of the Southland, you know exactly what I mean. Inconsistent water access has been a persistent challenge, one that impacts residents' ability to live their best possible life. That's why this summer, my administration completed a major multi-million-dollar water project in the village of Dixmoor. The installation of new, larger pipes and the capping of old, inaccessible water mains have resulted in increased water pressure and greater system reliability for residents like Mabel. Since these improvements, Mabel has noticed a huge increase in water pressure and reliability in her home of 70 years. We're proud to have made such a difference. Of course, this work extends beyond one single village. Our commitment to improving lives spans the entire county. The Bureau of Asset Management's Build Up Cook program, a $30.5 million ARPA-funded infrastructure improvement initiative, partners with our communities that have been historically disinvested. In the coming year, we'll replace more water mains and swap obsolete backup generators for new ones. But access to water isn't the only issue we're tackling in this regard. We're also expanding our efforts to address a different kind of water challenge: lead service lines. Even low levels of lead in a child's blood can result in behavior and learning challenges, lower IQ and hyperactivity, slowed growth, or worse. Now I ask you again, shouldn't government aim to give everyone the best possible life? The answer should always be absolutely. That's why we started Lead Care Cook County. The program offers free service line identification, replacement, restoration, filters, and follow-up testing for child care providers in suburban Cook County. And today I'm proud to share some very good news. As of this moment, under this multi-million-dollar program, we've officially replaced more than 100 lead service lines connected to child care facilities in over 30 suburban Cook County communities. 106 lead service lines to be exact. And because of those 106 replacements, nearly 1,000 Cook County children are no longer at risk from lead service lines. But we're not stopping there. Our goal is to quadruple our work to over 450 lead service lines by the end of 2026. As you know, my administration approaches our equitable work regionally. So now let's take a trip up north. Let's drive from Southland and I-57 and catch 294 north all the way to Manheim Road. Keep going until you get to Minneapolis Road, then hang a right. Follow my directions, and I welcome you to another wonderful village. What village is that, Commissioner Aguilar?
Franklin Park.
Franklin Park, that's right. Well done. Here in many areas making up the north and northwest suburbs, we have a community investment in infrastructure as a top priority as well. Cook County has emerged as a regional leader in supporting and improving our local transportation network by advancing mobility and promoting strong local partnerships. Thank you, Mayor Barrett Peterson. For example, next year, construction, you're going to applaud? Okay, good. Next year, for example, construction will begin on Franklin Avenue and Green Street. Together with the support of IDOT and the Illinois Tollway, the project will relieve congestion and improve access to the major industrial areas in Franklin Park and O'Hare. There's also the $34.5 million Old Orchard Road project that started this year that will replace the bridge over I-94 in the Edens. Then there's the county's $92 million Toohey Avenue project aimed at reducing congestion, which will kick off next year. But let's be clear, building resilient communities isn't just about infrastructure. It's about preparing for emergencies and disasters as well. Just this past July, Cook County unfortunately experienced 16 tornadoes over the course of 2 days. Our Department of Emergency Management and Regional Security in the Bureau of Administration jumped into action. They stayed in constant communication with 23 municipalities during the storms and after, providing direct assistance to several of them. EMRS also coordinated the delivery of more than 1,800 meals across Thornton Township, ensuring access to emergency food support during the extended outages. This represents the immediate response to a storm. However, we recognize that recovery from tornadoes or severe flooding, as we saw last year, takes months, if not years. President Biden, being a former Newcastle, Delaware county official himself, he was on the county board, understands our challenge as well. He signed a presidential major disaster declaration for Cook County in response to those July storms. Not everyone recalls this, but this was our third presidential disaster declaration in 13 months. Let me just say, I've had the distinct honor over the last few years to personally thank President Biden for his steadfast leadership. Our partnership with the White House has had an immense impact on our county during his presidency. From ARPA funds to disaster declarations, the White House's unwavering commitment, constant communication, and collaboration with us have been critical to our success, and for that, I'm very grateful. Last year, my office established a Disaster Response and Recovery Fund. The fund was created in part to help local governments address the sheer volume of severe and volatile weather events coming our way. As you may recall, this fund included support for our response to new arrivals. But now more than ever, we're feeling the financial impacts of climate change on our region. Why did we feel it was time to earmark additional money in our general budget for this matter? Because 2023 was the most expensive year ever for Cook County and the state of Illinois for climate disasters. I'm going to say that again. 2023 was the most expensive year for Cook County and for Illinois for climate disasters. Including the recent hurricanes in the southeast, last year's flooding made Illinois rank number 1 for the costliest disaster in the nation. Number one. Receiving federal government's grant assistance was really helpful, and the disaster declaration was critical to our local recovery because it allowed us to use much-needed federal resources. Between FEMA dollars and federal low-interest loans, more than $473 million in federal aid came to Cook County just last year, to help our communities recover from those disasters. It shouldn't take the writings of Rachel Carson or urgent pleas from Gen Z for us to understand that these disasters are no longer an aberration. This is our new normal. And if we don't act, it only gets worse. Because all the people in Cook County deserve the best possible life, the Department of Environment and Sustainability is working to ensure that we're doing our part to have a cleaner and healthier and more environmentally friendly region. To this end, the department has committed $14 million to implement the Climate Resiliency Planning for Communities program. Environment and Sustainability will also allocate $15 million toward Cook County's Clean Energy Plan goal. This is to get us 100% renewable energy for electricity used by the county-owned and operated buildings by 2030. And in 2025, the Department of Environment and Sustainability, in partnership with the Community Advisory Committee, will also introduce the county's first environmental justice policy. As much as the environment affects a person's health, so does health care. That's why in 2025, we'll open the Clinical Triage and Stabilization Center at Providence Hospital. We'll complete the countywide behavioral health strategic plan, which includes the establishment of 11 regional collaboratives to ensure local involvement in behavioral health decisions. We will fully implement the 53 Stronger Together grant awardees projects. We'll expand the front door navigation to nearly all outpatient behavioral health programs operating with Cook County through our collaboration with NAMI Chicago. I must take a moment to highlight the work of our hospital system and our essential workers. Running an immense public hospital system is no small task. But I'll add this. Cook County Health provides high-quality care to anyone who needs it, regardless of their ability to pay. It's something we've done for more than 200 years, and we all should be proud. This is why our hospital team deserves so much credit. They did extraordinary work during the pandemic, with our health department, public health department leading the charge, and are continuing to put the hospital in a strong financial position. They are saving lives, providing care, and doing so in a fiscally responsible manner. Just this summer, they reported a no budget gap for the first time since I took office. That's 14 years ago. That's right, no budget gap. I also want to take a moment to recognize something special we are doing as an employer when it comes to mental health. Under my leadership, and thanks to the great work of our Department of Risk Management, we've worked to increase awareness about the vital importance of mental health services. I'm proud to say that with this budget, Cook County will now be absorbing the employee cost for all mental health counseling services. This is an important 2025 initiative, and I'm proud to support our employees. Another issue at the intersection of health and wellness is community safety. For a few years now, we've been spearheading an impactful, equity-centered initiative, our work on violence prevention. The Justice Advisory Council designed a responsive gun violence prevention and reduction grant initiative that is bringing transformative levels of ARPA funding to the communities most impacted by violence. To see meaningful, long-term reductions in gun violence, we're spearheading an unprecedented intergovernmental collaboration with the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago, now called the Government Alliance for Safe Communities, or GASC. This is led by my Chief of Staff, Lynetta Haynes-Turner, and this historic collaboration has resulted in streamlined funding, capacity building, and aligning of reporting metrics and geographic areas of focus. Recently, we launched a shared website that serves as a resource library for our grant recipients. I'm proud to announce that we are again partnering with the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago to invest a combined $100 million in CVI, violence prevention programs. Government, however, cannot do this work alone, and I'm grateful to Derek Douglas, president of the Civic Committee and the Commercial Club, and the Scaling Community Violence Intervention for a Safer Chicago, SC2, coalition for working alongside us. Thank you to the business community for their support. With a collective goal to expand CVI programs over the next decade to significantly reduce gun violence in Chicago, SC2 has also raised an additional $100 million, matching the government dollars, doubling our total investments with more money to come in the years ahead. This collective commitment to long-term sustainability is unprecedented and should make us all proud. And while we're talking about investments, let's consider the backbone of our community, small businesses. I'm pleased to share that our FY 2025 budget will once again invest in the Bureau of Economic Development's Small Business Source Program. This program supports small businesses countywide through no-cost advising, webinars, in-person events, and access to capital opportunities. Since its inception in 2020, the Source has supported small businesses to the tune of $67 million in grants. The Source has served about 21,000 businesses through advising and events, and the program has reached over 88,700 businesses in total. Speaking of businesses, it's been more than 30 years since one of the largest employers on the southeast side of Chicago, U.S. Steel, shuttered its doors. The site, once alive with activity, opportunity, jobs, and dreams, has lain dormant for a very long time. So when a once-in-a-generation opportunity came up for Psi Quantum to become the cornerstone of that property, we had to act. This will place Cook County at the forefront of technological advancement, opportunity, and innovation. To quote someone we all love, cherish, and miss beyond measure, Commissioner Dennis Deere, in order to get something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. So this summer, we did something we'd never done. We committed millions of dollars to secure and support the development of the Illinois Quantum and Microelectronics Park in Cook County. My administration has also spearheaded the creation of a new tax incentive. This will foster a favorable environment to drive economic development on the southeast side and increase the tax base. Psi Quantum will now build the very first utility-scale quantum computing in the U.S., right here in Cook County, the very first quantum computer. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this unprecedented opportunity, this investment, and of course our collaboration with the state and the city is exactly what the U.S. needs to do to remain competitive in the global economy. None of this is possible without our 23,000 plus Cook County employees who always put in the work. We have an excellent workforce. I'm proud of them, and I want to thank them for their tireless efforts every day. That's why we're continuing to support the ongoing work that the Bureau of Human Resources is spearheading. Today, in 2024, BHR maintains a hiring cycle that is lower than the public sector average and continues to work on process improvements. Our great employees, our people, power and sustain the work that we do, and we are proud of the way that BHR has navigated the volatile post-pandemic labor market so that the work can continue with excellence. Without their good work, we would not have had the staffing to stand up and launch the many programs under ARPA and the ongoing work around our policy roadmap. It's because of their efforts and the efforts of our employees that we have created the nation's largest guaranteed income pilot, a program that provides $500 a month for 3,250 families. And don't forget, we're the first local government committed to making this a permanent program. It's because of their efforts that we're looking to address historic inequities around the property tax system. It's because of their efforts within the Bureau of Technology that the groundwork is being laid to pilot many exciting artificial intelligence, or AI, projects in 2025. AI will be a powerful new tool that enhances our ability to do our jobs and will keep Cook County a leader in responsibly adopting new technologies. It's because of our employees' efforts that we are increasing the funding to the Veterans Assistance Commission, providing further access to benefits for our veterans in Cook County. And it's because of our employees' efforts that we're increasing our 211 call line funding to further support our great partner, the United Way, thank you, Sean Garrett, so that the free service is available to connect our residents to essential health and social services in times of non-emergency crisis. In fact, we're announcing today that 211 Metro Chicago has surpassed 250,000 connections less than 2 years after its launch. So again, my thanks to all our Cook County employees. I also want to express my sincere gratitude to our residents for your engagement, especially when it comes to our ARPA programs. And just a reminder, we're going to reopen our community survey on October 15th, so please continue to participate. I want to thank the many partners who deliver critical services on behalf of our residents. To our commissioners, thank you for your constant leadership and collaboration. Special thanks to my Chief of Staff, I'd be in lots of trouble if I didn't say this, for her incredible leadership. Thanks to our Bureau Chiefs, Sarah Ali, Tanya Anthony, Soshi Flores, Liz Granado, Felicia Haddix, and Tom Lynch. To our department heads and all of the staff in Cook County. And special thanks to Nick Shields and Kara Yee for drafting my speech. We've come a long way, and together we're building a Cook County that provides everyone with a chance to build their best possible life. A county where equity, opportunity, and resilience are more than just words, but a reality for every family and every community. We can't do this work alone. We have to work hand in hand with the people of Cook County. And while there's still much to do, I'm confident that we're on the right path, a path that brings us closer to realizing the full promise of the county we call home. In the coming months, we will work diligently to bring this budget to life. Together, we'll continue to build a Cook County we can all be proud of, and one that ensures a better and more equitable future for all of us. Thank you.